everyone. Welcome to another episode of The Composition of Imagination. I am your host and author, Stevie Joe. These are my fabulous book guardians, Tasha and Jason. We have been discussing the sort of locations of Angel of Death and just having some fun with it, talking about different things to do with it all month long so far. We've been celebrating Angel of Death for its 2-year publication anniversary, and we're going to continue to do that today.
If you were there in Murrlance, where would you go to hang out at?
Well, there are no bars, so that's out. I mean, I don't drink a lot anyway, but that's still, that nightlife factor is out. I would probably, that restaurant that Harper met Lola at sounds really intriguing.
Actually, it does.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little restaurant for like where the artists tend to go, and it's not necessarily like a Starbucks kind of place where you've got people with coffee in there. No, it's kind of like one of those fancy little like it's tea time restaurants. I would like to do that. I think that would be fun. And I would probably go to the park on the warmer days because that fucking park is awesome with all the shit that it has. And everything in Murrlance that we talk about is South Side. North Side has other stuff, but like there's probably not, because of the size of the place, there's probably not like a huge mall, not like here, you know.
If anything, it would be a strip mall. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, and that can get old really fast. So I think it'd be more fun to do some of the more like outdoorsy type things that they're known for. In the North Side, it is safe to assume there's other stuff, because the North Side also includes the central downtown area. And you know how sometimes they'll have like those little like the Opera House or venues where they'll bring in little acts to perform and stuff like that. Obviously they've got elementary, middle, high school. Given the size, it may all be one. I haven't really determined that, but we know they don't have a university or anything, so there's no big arena, so no really big shows. So the people probably go to neighboring counties for those kinds of fun things. Kind of like when someone comes to Cincinnati or Louisville, we go up that way. Yeah. So that's what I always picture for them in terms of like recreation.
Alchemist Falls.
Yes.
Okay. A lot of history there, a lot of magic. I think it's interesting how Eli somehow found a way to basically pipe Alchemist Falls into Creature Comforts. How could he do that and not disturb the magic that is Alchemist Falls?
Well, the merfolk helped him. Because
I wonder what deal he cut with them.
None.
Really?
They voluntarily said, you should do this. They did not want anything from him in return. They just were like, hey, if you're building that club and stuff, we would like to socialize with the other creatures. So all we ask is that you allow us entry. And he was like, done? Like, why was that so hard? And so he was able to filter it through, and they also have their own kind of like swim path that they can get in there for. So that's kind of how he was able to do that.
With Alchemist Falls, they've never been able to find the depths, which I think that's magic related, that they can't get a proper sounding. And two, it would be interesting when you were coming up with the idea and stuff, you were thinking, was it because of the picture that you thought of Alchemist Falls, or you were just already thinking of a waterfall and then everything went bang, bang, bang?
I already had the waterfall in mind, and it was already named Alchemist Falls, already magical with the merfolk in it. But then that just key moment of what it actually means to the series changed when I saw the artwork. And I was like, ooh, okay, light bulbs. And I got all kinds of fun ideas and stuff with it. So it's really, it really helped having the visual.
Yeah.
But I still already had kind of a plan for it, but it wasn't as bold and elaborate as what I have now.
In hell, the Kens and Karens here, do they have to work like retail and waitress and stuff like that in hell
for the rest of their days.
for the rest of their days.
Absolutely,
Like,
that's a possibility.
to where,
yeah.
like that, like when Evie and Bane and they just want to blow off some steam, quote unquote.
Yeah.
They could just go to a restaurant and then like the Kens and Karens who are like horrible to wait staff, like now they have to be wait staff.
It absolutely could be a possibility because the way that they, like, there's no specific one way that they torture their souls.
Right.
And so they would look at, you know, basically like you're saying, they would look at, what did you do? Why were you brought down here instead of allowed in heaven? And how can I maximize that for my pleasure?
Right.
So they would definitely, now they may not be like as refined as like a restaurant in heaven or earth, because we're talking about a hellion that's
Right.
But it would be like if a demon wanted to do that, you know, he might invite, like Ubel is a demon who is very close to Sierra, which is a dark angel that you meet in the 3rd book. And she, like, it may be that he brings a tortured soul to his lair and is like, Sierra, honey, come to dinner with me. I've got the perfect person to wait on us.
Right.
And they can be tortured like that, and they'll just be overly demanding and rude, like they were in life. So that is absolutely a possibility, and that would be...
I just had to think about that. 'Cause
Yeah.
I feel like everybody should work 2 years. 1 year in retail, the whole year, and then 1 year in like hospitality as a waiter or waitress, somehow in the restaurant business, a whole year.
Yeah.
Not just like 3 or 4 months, like no, the whole fucking year. Like you don't get Christmas off, you don't get
long enough to learn that it is fucking difficult.
Yeah.
And people are dicks.
Yeah. To where you have to deal with the Kens and Karens.
Yeah, and the
But
funny
when you
part,
flip, but see, that's the thing. You can flip the script on them, and then they don't know how to handle it. You back them into a corner,
Right, but
metaphorically.
they have to learn that because that's what they did to other people on Earth.
Yeah.
So do they have like restaurants and retail stores there in hell that these souls have to work at?
No,
they can create it for
they
them.
would create
Yeah, they
it,
can
make
create
them
the
do it.
illusion. And the funniest thing about that, since you're bringing that up, is you could have like a Karen down there being bossed around and tortured by the Hitler type person,
right?
Who's been there and earned their
like,
way.
I want to speak to your manager.
Yeah, and they've earned their
you're
way.
telling me the same thing my manager's gonna do. I don't care when I talk to your manager. Like,
yep. And then that demon or slayer or whichever they are will then exercise what power they like. They'll try to kind of do the things they did on Earth, where like if it was the Hitler type, he would then proceed to like try to massacre all of them and stuff like that. So it would be cyclical. Even though he does it once doesn't mean you're going to die. That means you just come back and get to do it all over again the next day. So they can create whatever illusion they want for these souls to see for their torture. So if that's what they did, because they know when they choose a soul,
Montgomery, sorry.
Yeah. When they choose a soul, they're like, ooh, I want that one because of what she did, and that's right up my alley. Yeah. So that's kind of why they do the pick and choose in the line, you know, because they're like, who matches the fun things I feel like doing today? Right. You know, and it's like the demons and slayers, all the hellions wake up each day going, oh, it's a beautiful dark day in hell. Now whose eternity can I fuck up? Right.
In a way, that's what they are.
Yeah.
Like, come on, Evie sit there, had that one part. This is gonna be fun.
Yes, and they all feel that way. The dark angels, everybody feels that way because it's so much more loosey goosey in hell. Right.
So. Yeah, it does. You do kind of bring up a party atmosphere down there in the wrong way.
Mainly because of Evie and her, like, she has some interesting things that she's working out in her eternity in hell. And it's because of how she got there and who she was beforehand. So that's all going to come back into play later. But I think that's a great place to end this video. Good questions. And we will wrap up our discussion of the locations in Angel of Death tomorrow. So be sure you come back and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any. And we will see you tomorrow.
Catch up on the Angel of Death series today. The first 4 entries are now available directly at steviejoeauthor.com.